Yo, what is going on? This is that guy Face with Face the Music Media. We are back again for another episode of How I Synth. In this video, we got Cherry Audio's brand new Octave Cat. Let's get into it. Oh yeah. Oh my my. Oh yeah. Face the music. So, Octave Cat is based on a classic synthesizer from way back in the day called the Cat, which was a monophonic, duophonic synthesizer that was, known for its crazy filter. And so Cherry Audio took a crack at that one. I think they knocked it out of the park, so I'm excited about this one. But before we get into that, if you have not already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you enjoy the content and hit the bell for notifications so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Also, go ahead and hit the video with a thumbs up if you enjoy the content and leave a comment below. The engagement does help with the algorithm, so we would appreciate if you would do that for us. Also, make sure you go to realloops.com. Sweet Fusion Vol2. If you haven't got that already, what are you waiting on? We got a collection of presets for almost all of the Cherry Audio synthesizers, and we'll be working on Volume 3 pretty soon to add on all the new synths, so you want to stay tuned for that. Go to realloops.com. That's REELLOOPS.com. Also, if you have not already, go ahead and subscribe to the singles playlist. It's called Music by That Guy Face. We got singles in the playlist and we got more singles coming. So you want to be subscribed to the playlist so you can be updated on that as well. Anyway, let's go ahead and get to it. We have our transient generators here, which are basically just two different types of envelopes. Right here, we have our bend depth, octave shift, and glide section here. We have our LFO section here. Down here we have our voices here, so you can go in and change the amount of voices. You can go into mono mode, duo mode, or poly mode, and then you can change into unison mode here and deal with the unison there. So up here we have our oscillator 1 and then we have oscillator 2. And so the oscillators are really straightforward. We have our frequency knobs here for the coarse tune and then fine tune. We have our modulation section here. These are all modulations here. These two here are for the pitch, and you can do the LFO with this one or an envelope with this one. This here is specifically for pulse width modulation. And so you can either do LFO up here or envelope, or you can do a manual and just sweep through manually. And so you can choose your wave shapes down here. Then we have oscillator 2, which is pretty much the same thing, except you can sync oscillator 2 to 1 to get the cross modulation. And so you can get some crazy tones out of that. So we'll definitely mess with that here in a second. Shapes down here. This section right here is our filter section. And so we have the frequency cutoff here, resonance here, our two modulation sources. One is LFO, one is envelopes, and then the keyboard control. Next, we have our master section with the limiter up here. We have our amplifier section here, and then we have our noise oscillator here. Dope thing about the synthesizer is if you go up here and click on effects, you have page number 2. This is where all the effects are. As you can see, we have a distortion, phaser, flanger, echo, and a reverb. And then we have an 8-step sequencer right here that you can sequence notes and patterns, but you can also sequence the pitch of the oscillators, the filter, and the amplifier. So you got a lot of different options there with this. We'll jump into that here in a second as well. So let's go ahead and jump into it, man. The very first thing I love to do when I get a new synth is test out the oscillator detune. So let's go ahead and do that. So if we take a look here, we have the square wave and the saw wave here selected. So let's do this. I'm going to go over here and select the saw here. So let's just take a listen to that and see what it sounds like. I'm going to turn the volume down just a little bit. Nice. So let's go ahead and detune that. nice. I love that sound. Let's hear what that sounds like with the filter really quick. Beautiful. I love that. Let's hear what some of these other wave shapes sounds like. So let's go over here to the triangle. Take a listen to that. I do have that on mono mode. I need to put that on poly. Let's listen to it with the filter there. That sounds so fat. I love that sound. Let's take a listen to the square wave. Beautiful. I love that. And you know what? I got to be real. I got to keep the sweep short because, yeah, we get flagged from these filter sweeps. It's weird that these labels claim these filter sweeps. And so I do have a couple videos where they claim some of my filter sweeps. And I'm just like, really? Okay, whatever. But anyway, man, let's keep it moving. So let's go ahead and listen to the post with modulation and see what that sounds like. Turn that resonance down there. Turn that filter up. Beautiful. I love that. Let's listen to the modulation and see what that sounds like. Right now, it's set to the envelope. So let's just take a listen. There we go. So let's go ahead and jump into the LFO. I'm going to sync that to the tempo. I'm going to turn the tempo down to about, let's do 4 beats and leave the delay at 0 so we can hear it come straight in. So let's take a listen. I love that. Sounds like a little buzzy bee. Now, I do notice it, and it's crazy. I've noticed this with some other synths, but when you manually sweep the pulse with modulation, a lot of times you can get closer to canceling out than if you use a modulation. So as you can see, when I was modulating the LFO, it was kind of going to about here, but when I manually do it, I can get it to go almost all the way. So let's take a listen to that. Now I'm going to set it back to manual mode, and you can see already it's all the way over. So let's take a listen. See? But anyway, that's why I love how you can use like a LFO tool in Ableton, and then you can just manually route that to a LFO and have it go as far as you want it to go. So, but anyway, let's go ahead and take a listen to the oscillator sync here. And so I'm going to turn on the saw wave and let's go ahead and sync it. Let's go to mode B and let's just see what that sounds like. I'm loving that. That sounds really good. Let's modulate that and see what that sounds like. I'm going to use the LFO. Let's take a listen. I love it. That sounds good. I got a chord progression that I played in the background. Let's just mess around with some controls and see what we can come up with, man. Let me turn this down just in case. Poly mode. Okay, now let's take a listen. Already, that sounds fire. I can't even lie. Anyway, let's go in here and mess around with this sync a little bit, and let's go ahead and kind of fine tune that. I think what I want to do is turn the LFO a little bit. Let's go to half and see what that sounds like. Beautiful. It almost sounds like post-width modulation mixed with like a comb filter or something, but I'm loving that. I want to see what the post-width modulation sounds like with that chord progression. Let's take a listen to that. I'm going to take it to LFO. Let's take a listen. Beautiful. I love that. Okay, that sounds nice. Let's mess with the envelope and see what we can get out of that. So in order to get the envelopes going here, I'm going to come over here to the filter. We have to modulate this one here for the filter envelopes. And so I'll turn that up. Beautiful. I'm loving that. Let's mess with the attack release envelope and see what that sounds like. Beautiful. I'm loving that. So I think what I want to do now is I kind of want to take that back to the oscillator sync. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and put it back on the LFO. Let's take a listen really quick. Beautiful. Okay, we're ready for some effects now. Let's go ahead and jump into these effects. So let's just take a listen to all of them and see what they sound like. I'm going to go ahead and activate the tube distortion. Let's see what it sounds like. Okay, I mean, it doesn't work for this sound, but probably would be dope on a lead sound with that filter, not gonna lie. Let's go ahead and take a listen to the phaser. Beautiful. I wish the distortion and the phaser had a dry wet knob. It would be nice to be able to blend that in. But let's go ahead and move on to the flanger and chorus and see what that sounds like. Beautiful. I love that. Let's go ahead and take a listen to the chorus. Beautiful. Okay, let's take a listen to the delay. I love that. That sounds so good. Let's go ahead and take a listen to the reverb. Beautiful. Yo, I can't even lie. Whenever I use galactic reverb, I always want to keep it on. Like all the other reverbs sounded good, but when I get to galactic, I'm like, man, dude, there's something about galactic that's just fire. It just sounds so buttery and just like it just works, man. Now, for the sake of this video, I'm not going to really go into the sequencer, but I'm just going to fool around a little bit. I'm going to turn off the oscillators and the amplifier, and let's just fool around with the filter and kind of see what kind of options we can get out of that. So basically, with all these, you can just change this control, and this one control will affect whatever you have selected here. And so let's just take a listen. Beautiful. That sounds fire, man. Anyway, that's the end of this video. You let me know what you think about Octave Cat down in the comments below. I mean, what do you think about the sound? You know what I'm saying? What I think personally, Cherry Audio has done it again. They are killing the game right now. A lot of the synths, they try to dig deep and really get in there and get some unique synths, and I really love that. And they sound good. They sound good, man. You know what I'm saying? And for the price point, it's no topping that. So, you know, these guys, they're gonna be around for a long time. This is only the beginning. I can see them definitely at the top of the VST game. And that's crazy to say because they have not been around that long. I can't wait to see what they have coming up in the future. But yeah, I would say definitely grab the demo. Definitely fool with this. Matter of fact, just get it anyway because it's just really good. And for what you pay, all the features that you get, it's pretty much a no-brainer. But anyway, man, you let me know what you think. What do you want to see from Cherry Audio next? But anyway, man, this is That Guy Face to Music Media. If you have not already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed the content. Make sure you go to realloops.com. That's REELLOOPS and cop the Sweet Fusion Vol2 preset pack. That's available right now at realloops.com. Also, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the music playlist. That's Music by That Guy Face. We got 3 singles so far. The link is down in the description. But anyway, man, this is That Guy Face the Music Media. We out of here. Peace.